Hello, we are the OpenRainGarden team, and we are going to be stepping through the process of getting our application running on CloudBees. This video tutorial is designed for developers, and in this video we will walk through the code, create a build, and deploy the project to CloudBees. First, in order to run our application, you will need the Play Framework version 2 or above, Java 7 or above, MySQL, a CloudBees account, and a GitHub account. To get started, first log into GitHub. And we will go to the OpenRainGarden repository, and the repository can be found at this URL up here, github.com/openraingarden/openraingarden. We want to fork the repository. Okay, so once we forked the repository, we are going to clone it to desktop, and we will save it as OpenRainGarden. So next, we are going to open up our command line terminal and navigate to the directory where we just saved the repository. So now we're going to type in play, which will start the play console. So once the play console is open, we are going to type in the Eclipse command. This command will allow you to import the project into Eclipse. Note that Eclipse is not the only option we could use. We could use other IDEs such as IntelliJ IDEA or a simple text editor. So once the Eclipse command has finished, we are now going to open up Eclipse and import our project. So we'll open up Eclipse and import, and we're going to go to existing projects into workspace. Then you're going to go to your directory where you saved the repository, which in our case is here. And here's our project, and you're just going to go to finish. So once we have our project imported in Eclipse, the first thing we're going to look at is the app folder. The first package we have is the default package, which contains the global class. The global class contains all the code that would be executed on the application startup. In our case, we use it for the initial seeding of our database. Okay, so the next package we have is the controllers package. The first class we're going to look at is the application.java class. This class is where we hold all the methods for controlling the application. In most cases, these methods will return a type result, which is then rendered as a web page. So for example, this method right here, public static result index, returns our index page, which is our home page. Okay, so we also have a couple more classes in this controller package. The export package is used to control all of our database export functions. Next we have the secured class, which contains all our methods for authorization and authentication. So next we have the models package, and in the models package we have all of our Java classes which are translated into table entities in our database. So for example, we have objects for rain gardens, rain barrels, permeable pavers, our user info, and for anything else that is stored in our actual database. And the last package that we have is the views package. And the views package contains all of our web pages. So in the root folder, we have all of our actual HTML and Scala pages that are part of our site. And within the subfolders, we have the Bootstrap 3 folder, which is where we put all of our HTML templates. So these are usually called from the other files down here. And in the form data package, we have all of the Java classes, which are the backing class for the forms. So next, we are going to look at the conf folder. In the conf folder, we have all our configuration files for the application. So first, application.cloudbees.conf is our configuration file for the CloudBees. Just application.conf is our application file for our local deployment. And this, you want to pay attention to this file because it defines some variables based on environment variables that we have set, which we will go over later on in this video. So just take a note of this and we will visit it later. We also have our initial data YAML files, which stores all of our definitions of our seeded plants database. Next, we have the play.plugins file, which defines all of our plugins that we're using for this application. Currently, we only use one plugin, the common mailer plugin, to send emails. So the last file we have is the routes file, and this file is very important. It maps all of the HTML requests to methods that we have written in our controllers package. So the last folder we're going to be looking at is the public folder. This folder contains all of our assets that we use on our website. So we have our images in here. We have our JavaScripts. And we have style sheets. And we also have plant pictures here. And that pretty much covers our code overview. So depending on your platform that you're using, creating environment variables will be different. So we are just going to give an overview of which environment variables you need to create and what they should be set to. The first environment variables you will need to create is these database environment variables. So the database underscore username underscore DB and database underscore password underscore DB variables should be set to your username and password for your MySQL database. These things should have been set up when you were installing MySQL. And the database underscore URL underscore DB environment variable should be set to the name of your database. So the next two environment variables we need to set are mail underscore username and mail underscore password. These correspond to the email address you wish the website to use when sending emails through the admin account. So the username will be your email address and the password will be the password for that email address. And just note, right now our mail host is set to the Gmail server, and if you're not using Gmail for your email, you will need to set this parameter to their mail server. So once we have all our environment variables set, we can now build and run our application locally. So to do that, we are going to go back to our terminal. Okay. So we're going to type in play to start the play console. So once the play console is loaded, we are going to clean, compile, and wait for it to compile. So once we have our application compiled, we are going to type in run. And this command will run a HTML server that allows us to look at our application locally. So it is running now, and you want to go to your browser If I can get the menu up, there we go. And from here, type in localhost. So once our site loads, you can see that we now have a local deployment of our OpenRainGarden site. And you can click around and navigate through the site and everything should be working. So next we're going to deploy our application onto CloudBees, and to do this, first we're going to log into CloudBees. So type in your email address and your password and log in. And once you're logged in, we are going to click on Click Start in the top left and select the Play Framework 2 application. Then you can name your application whatever you like, but we are going to name it OpenRainGarden. And create app. Now we just have to wait for it to build. Okay, so after the application has been built on CloudBees, we're going to click on Manage under the Database section. And from here, these are all the database credentials. So we're first going to copy the server, and we're going to open up SQL Pro and make a new connection and paste the host. Then we're going to copy and paste the username and also the password. And now we're going to click connect. And choose the database that we just made. And our next step is to open up Eclipse. And we are going to go to in the comps folder, navigate to evolutions, default, and we're going to open up 1.sql. And we're going to copy everything in the up section. So this is all the table definitions. And remember to copy only in the up section. And from here, we will paste this code into SQL Pro and run selection. So this is creating the needed queries for the CloudBees database. And now we have our tables. Okay, so once we have our database set up, we are now going to create our environment variables for CloudBees. So first, we are going to set the config.resource variable, which will point to our application.cloudbees.conf file, which is located in the conf folder. So we use this command here. And next, we need to set the admin mail credentials. So first, we need to set our mail username variable to the email address. So here we're using openraingarden@gmail.com. And once that has been set, we are going to set the next variable, which is mail_password, which will be the password for your email. Okay, so next we are going to open up the Play console again. So once the Play console is open, we're going to type in the command dist. So once the dist command has finished, we are now going to deploy our application. So we're first going to exit the Play console, and to deploy we're going to use the command seen here. And we need to change the account name to match your account name, and also the application name as well. So this is changing the account name. And the application name, note that the application name needs to match the app name that you created on CloudBees. So as you can see here, our deployment succeeded and the URL is given here. So we're just going to open up our browser and paste in our URL. and the application has been deployed. So this concludes our developer tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I hope you use our application.